News 4 San Antonio at 10. We're here for you.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Melissa Vega. Make sure you bundle up because it's going to be frigid this weekend as an Arctic blast makes its way to our region. We have some video from your South Texas Ford dealer Sky4 helicopter high above an HEB on the city's far west side. You can see the parking lot is pretty full as people pick up some last minute items for the weekend. Curbside pickup also seeing a long line as people prep for the cold. And we have a picture. This was posted by News 4 San Antonio's Jay Avila. He was at another HEB. He wrote the line is so long he couldn't see the register, and that store was running low on some items. But it's important to note that this Arctic blast is not going to be like the 2021 winter storm, but temperatures will be dropping. For more on the cold heading our way, let's bring in meteorologist Joe DiCarlo with what we can expect heading into the weekend. Hi, Joe.
Hey, Melissa. Yeah, that's right. It's not going to be like 2021, but the cold definitely going to feel it for the back half of your weekend. Tomorrow's still going to be mild, but there is that Arctic cold front currently pushing through Kansas right now. It's 0 in Omaha, Nebraska, -11 Bismarck. It's -22 in Billings, Montana. Not the wind chill, the actual air temperature. It's not going to get that cold here in South Texas, but we're going to be tapping in to that Arctic air mass come tomorrow night into early Sunday. It's already a cold night out there now. 32 in Bernie at freezing, 36 Hondo, 44 in San Antonio. So we'll have a cold overnight period. Temperatures starting off tomorrow near freezing, but we're mild, upper 60s to even low 70s tomorrow afternoon. The Arctic air, though, moves in overnight as we get towards your Sunday, and then Sunday we're stuck in the 30s for many of us, and we're tracking a chance of a little freezing drizzle, freezing rain. I'll time that all out for you coming up in a few minutes.
See you soon, Joe. Well, tonight it's all hands on deck ahead of the winter weather arriving this weekend. And while again, this is not a repeat of 2021, final preparations are focused on your safety. News 4 San Antonio's Amanda Henderson explains.
Get ready, San Antonio. Winter is coming.
I got a lot of blankets for myself and for them.
People across the city are preparing and supplies are in high demand. Joey Gutierrez works for a company that buys people items they request. He says he's seen a lot of the same.
Candles, blankets, hand warmers, a lot of water, by the gallons and by the packs.
City and county officials have been working around the clock to make sure no one's left in the cold. While this Arctic blast isn't expected to be a repeat of 2021's deadly winter storm, they want to be prepared.
The public works staff at the 3 county service centers have prepared trucks and equipment for pre-treatment of bridges and other high-level structures in unincorporated Bexar County.
We have a team that is constantly watching and keeping an eye out on things. It doesn't seem like precipitation on the roads is going to maybe be as bad as we've had in the past. But if that were to change, the city would then, be ready to pivot as well.
Many are wondering if our power and water will be able to keep up. CPS Energy says everything is running as normal and they have crews standing by if needed. Ann Hayden with San Antonio Water System says they're encouraged by this.
It's going to get cold, but unlike what happened during Uri, it's going to warm up. So it won't be a week of below freezing.
Preparations happening with officials and with locals.
It's good to be prepared and unprepared, and if something could happen again, So that's why I'm happy that people are also getting ahead of the storm than being affected by the storm.
Yeah, no one wants to feel those last second effects. In fact, Hayden even mentions that if you do notice that your water has a little less pressure than normal, odds are that that is probably because you have an outdoor pipe that wasn't covered properly. Therefore, it probably had a little bit, if not total freeze happen to it. So she says make sure you cover them and make sure you take advantage of those items that are available. More information about where you can go to stay safe and warm if it's needed is on our website. For News 4 San Antonio, I'm Amanda Henderson.
Thank you, Amanda. Governor Greg Abbott is reminding Texans today to begin preparing for this latest cold snap.
There will be ultra cold temperatures, and we need to make sure that everybody in the state of Texas is aware of what's coming.
The governor held a press conference this morning addressing how the state is responding and how he is confident the power grid will hold up against the freezing temperatures.
We feel very good about the status of the Texas power grid and ERCOT to be able to effectively and successfully ensure that the power is going to stay on throughout the entirety of this winter storm episode.
ERCOT says there is an expected high energy demand for the next couple of days, but as of right now, they are not calling for Texans to conserve energy, but they did extend a weather watch through Wednesday. And CPS Energy is helping Bexar County prepare for the extreme cold with some safety and prep tips ahead of time. More information on the essential winter safety advice, including space heater and generator safety tips, well, they are posted for you right now. Just head to news4sa.com. And remember, you can track the weather anytime by downloading our News 4 Weather app. Just grab your cell phone and open the camera and scan the QR code on your screen. We will send out vital information from our newsroom on the Arctic blast and all weather events in our area. Well, new at 10, San Antonio fire officials were busy on the scene of a trench rescue on the city's far west side in far west Bexar County. Your South Texas Ford dealer Sky 4 flying over that area along Millbrook Way and Caleb Mill. Our cameras capturing emergency crews pulling that victim out of the trench. We're waiting to find out more details on exactly what happened here. Of course, we will be sure to bring you the very latest as soon as we learn even more. And we're getting our first look at the censure resolution City Council will be voting on this weekend regarding one of their very own. On Sunday, City Council members will decide whether or not to censor District 10 City Councilman Mark White after he was arrested for DWI last month. The resolution states it is necessary to censor White because a council member should not put the public at risk by irresponsibly drinking and driving. He since apologized and says he has no plans of resigning. And chaos at the southern border as tensions between the federal government and the state's Operation Lone Star seem to have reached a new height. A new Supreme Court filing from the Biden administration alleges Texas has been specifically blocking the federal government from maintaining the southern border with Mexico. Michael Atkinson spoke with the governor today and has the latest from Austin.
Could it be the Supreme Court weighing in on Texas' controversial Operation Lone Star initiative? The federal government has gone straight to them in a new filing saying that Border Patrol has been blocked by Texas from accessing a crucial 2.5-mile stretch along the southern border. It's a new chapter as tensions between Texas and the Biden administration reach a fever pitch.
Tonight, the fight over the southern border reaching dramatic new heights. A new Supreme Court filing from the Biden administration painting a stunning picture of the Texas National Guard obstructing the U.S. Border Patrol from accessing a 2.5-mile stretch in Eagle Pass. Photos allegedly depict gates erected, barriers put in place, and new concertina wire blocking access to a crucial spot on the border known as Shelby Park. Another photo depicts a Texas National Guard truck seeming to block Border Patrol from accessing the river. This reporter asked Governor Greg Abbott about the stunning allegations in a press conference.
The federal government has alleged that the Texas National Guard is blocking access to a crucial part of the border. What's your reaction to that, and did that come down from state leaders?
Texas has the legal authority to control ingress and egress into any geographic location in the state of Texas, and that authority is being asserted with regard to that park in Eagle Pass, Texas.
Eagle Pass Mayor Rolando Salinas Jr. says that the takeover was unprompted.
This is not something that the city wanted, requested, asked for.
Add to that, Abbott in hot water for remarks on a radio show last week, catching heat this week.
The only thing that we're not doing is we're not shooting people who come across the border because, of course, the Biden administration would charge us with murder.
I was asked to point out where the line is drawn about what would be illegal, and I pointed out something that is obviously illegal.
As the federal government points fingers for a lack of immigration policy at the federal level, the chips are falling for a showdown at the border.
Texas, of course, is at the center of several different lawsuits over the southern border, some of which are even with the federal government. One of them involved the federal government cutting up razor wire that was put in place by Texas at the southern border. Most recently, an appeals court sided with Texas on that issue. Now, the federal government is appealing directly to the U.S. Supreme Court to weigh in on the matter. From outside the Texas state capitol, I'm Michael Atkinson reporting.
A month of campaigning all coming down to Monday in Iowa, where Republican caucus goers will be the first to choose their nominee for president. The pool of candidates shrunk this week as the former governor of New Jersey, Chris Christie, dropped out of the race. However, businessman Vivek Ramaswamy and the former governor of Arkansas, Asa Hutchinson, who both poll in the single digits or lower, well, they're still in.
And it's going to take somebody coming from the outside to get this right.
There's always a surprise in Iowa. I want to be that surprise.
Meantime, former President Donald Trump is still the front runner in the Republican presidential primary, despite spending most of the week in New York and D.C. courthouses. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley are vying for the top bid, but may settle for second place as they sharpen their attacks against each other.
You're our own people first. We have to put Governor. We don't need another mealy-mouthed politician who just tells you what she thinks you want to hear.
Our Capitol Hill Bureau is traveling to Iowa for the caucuses covering voters and the candidates through Tuesday as part of our election 2024 coverage.
The littoral combat ship, it was doomed from the beginning. So it's because it was a flawed concept.
Still ahead, scrapping a military warship, how a flawed concept led to the waste of billions of dollars of taxpayer money. Plus, flight cancellations pile up as the winter storm disrupts travel. The number of flights canceled today troubling thousands of travelers.